150,000, you know. So why even the husband was flabbergasted. Man, I was surprised. What's going on? Is my wife mad or something? The driver was like, what happened? And the woman said, a half bag of rice. The money her husband gave her to actually buy half bag of rice. That the woman that left mistakenly carried it because it's just the same rice, and the woman bought half bag of rice just like themselves. So the woman carried it. So about two guys inside the vehicle, and I said, okay. They took bike. They started chasing after the woman until they saw the woman. They brought the woman back. Also, when they brought the woman back, they noticed that the woman actually has her own half bag of rice inside it. Just this kind of bag of rice where you buy two people buy full bag of rice and then share it, you know. So the woman now quickly opened the rice, dipped her hand, and then the 100,000 was actually there. You know, this is somebody, the husband had to borrow money for them to go, but she has 100,000 and she hid it in the rice, you know. So I'm not saying that it's a woman thing. It's even men.
Even men do that.
You know, I remember.
Can we? Okay. Go on,
okay.
go on.
No, you can.
Okay.
Come in, yeah.
So, I wanted to say something. I wanted to say, can we start by analyzing why should a man provide and why should a woman work? But before we get to that point, you wanted to tell a story. You said you remember.
Yeah, you know, I was going to also bring the story of a man too, because sometimes when you tell a woman's story, it will look like a story about women. But the truth is that just as we have good men, we have bad men.
Yeah.
We have bad women. We have bad good women as well. So a man that you know, he pretends to be that poor, you know, doesn't really provide for the family, but because the family believes he doesn't have, so they are just trying to cope with him. So they have this foam mattress they've been using for ages. So towards on his birthday, the wife decided to buy a new mattress, only to surprise him as his birthday gift. So his wife bought a new mattress. That day, the man came back and the wife and the children were like celebrating happy birthday, daddy. The woman said, close your eyes, surprise, surprise. The woman took her to their room, you know. On getting to their room, the woman asked him to open his eyes, and when he saw that they now have a brand new mattress in the room, the man was like, where is the old mattress? The woman said, don't worry, I've taken care of it. It's at the backyard. Before the woman finished explaining, the man ran to the backyard, only to discover that the woman had poured fuel and had set the mattress on fire.
Why?
This is a dirty mattress. The mattress they've used over 12 years. And the mattress is more of a dirty mat. So the woman decided to dispose it because she bought a new one. They won't be using it for anything. But what she failed to understand was that this man hid about 1.something million, you know, inside that mattress. So,
hey!
So all of the money burnt to ashes. You know, and this is somebody that have been, you know, telling the wife that he doesn't even have money to pay for house rent. The woman have been the one struggling to do other things. He has not been paying the children's school fees. The woman have been the one, you know, doing all these things, you know, doing it with joy that, well, when my husband has, he have been doing. Now that he doesn't have, I have to do it, you know. But look at how much they have lost just because of the fact that the man decided to hide such a thing without even letting the wife know that something like that is there. So it's not peculiar with men or women. It varies. It's individual thing.
But the thing is, let's start from the beginning so that whoever that joins us will really understand why we're having this conversation. Why should a man work and provide for the family? Then number two, why should a woman work in the first place?
Well, why should a man work and provide for the family? Right from the Bible said a man who doesn't provide is an infidel.
Exactly.
And the man doesn't even deserve to live. So naturally, it's the duty of a man to provide for
Like
the
a
family. Yeah,
responsibility.
it's part of a man. Any man who doesn't do that shouldn't be addressed as a man, because when we're talking about family, we're talking about your children. You don't expect your children to provide for you at that age. You train your children, then by maybe at old age you expect them to probably, you know, provide for you. And a wife, you're married to a wife, the Bible describes a woman as a weaker vessel. So it is your duty to also provide for her. The Bible describes a woman as a helper.
Yeah.
So naturally, if a man doesn't provide for his family, he shouldn't expect any other person to do that provision. So a man should provide because he's a man.
He's a man.
Not just
like
that he's a man.
It's a responsibility.
Yeah, not just that he's a man. He started a family.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to build a house, if you start a foundation, you're expected
to fortify
to wood block and then build a house and make it a house. You don't start a foundation and then abandon it and point to it and tell someone, this is my house, I've completed it. The person won't see any beauty in that. So
then you've talked about the reason which
why
is
a man should
provide for the family. Let's look at the woman.
Yeah, the woman. The truth is that there are a couple of things we must look at when we are looking at a woman and why she has to work, why she has to earn something. Lots of men believe that it is not wise for their wives to work at all.
Exactly.
So that's why we
If at first, do you know, I've been in places where they're having a conversation. Somebody pointed out to a particular politician in Nigeria and said that this politician in Nigeria survived and succeeded because the wife wasn't part of what he was doing. That he sent the wife to the grassroots, to the village, and the wife was busy canvassing in the village, doing a lot of grassroots stuff. That the wife was not part of the government itself. That I should check out all these other politicians whose wives were part of their government, how the government panned out. Although that's a different idea. Now, a situation where a woman, we were talking about, there are some guys who don't want their women to work. Do you know that even in this 21st century, there are some guys, they will tell you, my wife will not work.
Yeah, sure.
They will prefer to pay.
Yeah, and there are women who don't want to work as well. So,
True.
So,
But the only challenge about such women, I know there's this friend of my elder sister. My elder sister will always tell me, each time she sees me working, she'll tell me, do you know there are people who don't want to work? I never knew, I never believed it. She said, there's this friend of hers that each time they go for Shiloh, that her prayer point is that her husband will be very rich. That she's not interested in developing herself. She's not interested in anything. All she wants to do is to give birth to children and to raise them and to eat the money of her husband. That's all she wants. But Fresh, let me shock you. Do you know right now, this lady we are talking about right now owns a shop.
okay.
Right now, as I'm talking to you right now, she owns a shop. She runs a shop where groceries are sold.
Okay.
Now, this was someone who in her single days, she never wanted to work. All her prayer points.
Maybe she didn't marry
She married a very rich man. Like the husband works with an international organization. He doesn't even live in Nigeria.
So why did she change her mind?
How would you know? How would you know?
Well, people learn every day.
Right?
Experience sometimes teaches people as well. It is wise for a woman to have something doing, to work, to earn money.
There's something I say, Freshman. I say it in all my programs. I actually say that it is a crime. For me, I think it's a huge crime for a woman not to work. Like, it's a crime against humanity. It's a crime against her own self.
Okay.
And it's a disservice to her children. For a woman, you don't have a place where you're working. You don't have a talent that you're trying to develop. You don't have a business that you're running. You don't have anything that you're doing. All you're doing is to stay at home. Not that staying at home, there is work at home. There's house chores. But house chores, everybody does house chores.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a career woman. I still do house chores. In fact, before we came on air, I was telling you that I've not finished cooking busy.
The thing there is that every woman should walk. The Bible describes a woman as a helper. Walking is part of the help. That's one. Number two is most women that are treated badly in their marriage, if you check them, you discover that they don't have financial muscle.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly,
where a woman depends on her husband
solely
for everything.
For everything.
You know, most men do not take such woman seriously, no matter how rich the man is.
Honestly.
That's one reason, if you ask me, I will tell every woman to earn something, no matter how
even
small.
If it's 10,000 naira.
No matter how
even
small.
if it's 5,000, let it be your own contribution.
Yes.
Let it be something that you're doing.
Yes.
But we're coming to that point where a man will actually swear that my wife will never be richer than I am.
Yeah, we're coming there. Then another reason why I feel a woman should work is a woman is supposed to be a motivation to her daughters, for instance, to her children.
And to her sons as well.
Her sons. So a situation, especially her daughters, because a situation where you are not working, what is it teaching your daughters? And you're encouraging them to go to school. You have gone to school. What are you using it for? Practically, you're telling them after going to school, all of these things, you're just going to sit at home, give birth to children, cook for them, bath them, wear them clothes, nothing else. You know, but when a girl child sees her mother, you know, going out working, making impact in the society, it will definitely motivate that girl to work hard in school so as to become something like her mother. The next one, just like you said, you mentioned talent. I believe on the last day, one of the things God may likely ask us is the talent that I gave you.
What did you do
what
with
did you do with it? So a woman that has gone to school, you have certificates, you have talents, and you end up not using any of it. It doesn't make sense.
That's why I said it's a crime.
You understand? And apart from that, just as men has vision, men has dreams, women has dreams as well.
Should have dreams as well.
Yeah, so I don't see any reason why you abandon your dreams and visions because you are married to a certain man. Probably you start following his dreams and things changes, you know, things change. You know, you may be married to a very rich man. That rich man can become a very poor man. If you look at what happened in 2020 where we have COVID-19, a lot of importers depended on their wife's small shop to eat, because
they couldn't import.
They couldn't import.
They couldn't do anything.
Nothing. Banks were not working. You know, banks were not working. They can't travel. They can't even leave their street because that was the first time we started having lockdown. You have to stay wherever you are. So it was that little money, the money from that woman's the woman selling food items, selling provision. That's where this man.
We can't forget 2020 in a hurry.
Yeah.
We can't even forget. See how we're talking about it right now. It's now in the past.
Yeah, it is.
Remember
the past.
The year 2020.
Roads were blocked.
It was horrible.
You cannot move from the state where you are to another state.
Out.
Everybody.
Remember the time when there was 2 weeks lockdown in Anambra State. People were in the house.
Everybody was. Markets were shut down.
You have money, but you can't spend the money.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. So a situation where the family depended on one source of income, and that source
is shaky.
Was affected.
You know, we're looking at 2020. Remember, after COVID-19, a lot of shops, for example, this shop right in Onitsha right now, a lot of shops closed down.
Yeah.
In fact, after when the lockdown was lifted, I visited ShopRite.
So many.
And I found out that a lot of shops, a lot of businesses closed down.
They couldn't continue. Yeah. So
okay, that was 2020. Fresh. See what is happening with dollar.
Yeah.
What is happening at the moment, we are talking right now? What is happening at the moment?
Yeah.
Businesses are folding.
Yes, so
businesses
many of
are
them.
folding and closing down.
So many of them, our people, owing Chinese people, white people, they can't pay now because Some of them I got a cousin who told me. In fact, I was with him when these Chinese guys that called him from China, because according to him, most of their goods they get it on credit and they're paying later. Well, he's saying that the goods you get on credit was calculated at 700 per dollar, and now dollar is 1,000. How are you going to pay? You know, you can't pay that at the moment. So, and maybe you sold your own calculation after expenses. You sold at 800. So how are you going to pay if you pay now? So it's a big problem. So, but then what we are saying in essence is that a woman should be able to set a target for herself. Everybody is happy when you achieve something, not when your husband achieves something, but you yourself, you're able to achieve a particular feat. Growing up, you had your eyes on certain things, you know, you want to achieve. You probably have mentors that you look up to and say, if I become a woman, this is the person I want to become like, you know. But then, and getting married should be an additional thing to your life, should be a blessing.
Exactly.
Should not become a limitation, you know, something that will limit you to just giving birth and bathing them and giving them food. Every other woman, every other married woman does it. So
exactly that. Because that is one thing a lot of women are yet to understand. Like every other married woman will give birth, will take care of the children, will still cook, will still wash, will still do all those things. Every other married woman does that.
Yeah, sure.
And there are married women who, after doing all these things, they still excel. They are still making money. They are still bringing money into the house. But now, fresh, why do men, not all men anyways, why do some men believe that if their woman makes more money than them, that they are in trouble? Because that is what it's looking like. For somebody to say, come on, come on, that's a very horrible thing to say. That's an extreme thing to say. And what can we do?
I wouldn't sit here and tell you that I'm praying for my wife to be richer than me. I wouldn't say that, but I will actually tell you that I want my wife to be very, very rich.
Okay.
But you see, a woman has a duty in marriage, a man has a duty in marriage, and the man should be the head of the family, and there should be a reason apart from is my husband, you know, there should be a reason why a woman should respect her husband, you know, and one of those reasons is the provision, the finance of the family, you know. Let me just use what is popular to give you an example. You see, if you look very well, a man can feed his family for 30 years without anybody hearing about it. But just check a woman feeding the family for 3 months. In-laws, everybody will know that the woman is the one now providing. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that is it. It's I don't want to use the word natural, but it's common.
Okay.
Among women
Let me come in. You said something right now that a man can feed the family, nobody will hear it, which of course it's his responsibility.
Yes.
But if a woman does that, everybody will hear it. I want to correct an impression, which is, Freshman, do you know that there are some women who are actually the breadwinners of the family, but nobody knows about it?
Yeah, definitely. Just
there are women who they actually make more money than their husband, and sometimes they will give they will, when they get the money, and there is something that needs to be done, they will give the man the money to go and execute it on their behalf.
Yeah,
I actually think it's overgeneralization. For somebody to say that. I've heard a lot of people say this thing, that when a woman takes care of the family. I am well aware that there are some women that can be. There are some women that I'm choosing my words. There are some women that don't do it right. I'm so aware of that.
More women don't.
No. I think it's overgeneralization to actually say more women don't.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of women who are actually, there are lots of women who are actually there taking care of their homes and nobody hears about it. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah. One thing I want to let you know is that money has spirit.
True.
Money has spirit.
Yeah.
Certain behaviors a very rich woman can put up does not necessarily mean that she's a bad person.
Right.
You know, everybody has a position in the family. And when by virtue of money, there is a swap in position, it affects the woman's behavior. I have to be very, very honest with you. For instance, a woman may want to go out and the husband says, no, you're not going there. Now, a situation where the woman has more money, she has a better source of income, the woman may just say, look, the house we are living, my business trips, my business meetings, builds them. The cars we are driving, my business money, bought those cars. Why are you stopping me? And the problem is not, in fact, there are women that if their husband says don't go, they will not go, despite the fact they own the money. The problem here is that does this man has the courage to even say don't go when he feels you shouldn't go? A situation where there is discrepancy in the level status, financial status, becomes a bridge, because it is better for a man not to tell his wife don't go and she goes than for a man to say don't go and the wife goes. Every man has ego, whether he's rich or he's poor. Sometimes a man tries to protect that ego by ignoring what is hurting him, by accepting what is hurting him. But that ego will continue to affect the man. But a woman, because a woman is there to submit, even if she's not rich, she knows that what she needs is the duty of her husband to provide for her. But if a man is not, so it's her right to ask for it and have it. But if a man is not rich and the wife is rich, it is still very, very difficult for that man to boldly ask the same way the wife would have asked. Because one is that you have to be ashamed of yourself. One is you try as much as possible to at least have boundary. Remember the fact that you should be the one. In as much as I do not discard the fact that God is so mysterious that we cannot detect for him, we cannot tell him what we want, we can only appeal to him. We don't force our decisions on God. Why am I saying this? God can decide to use any channel
to bless
a family.
To bless a family.
And that is one thing every man should understand.
Yeah.
But I am not praying that my wife should not be that channel where she will have more money than myself. If God want to use her as that channel, God should just probably use her to get a connection,
so that the money will come through.
You understand? You see that? But but if after my prayers, God is our Father, if he decides to do otherwise, I wouldn't have any problem with that.
You need to see how you're saying this.
I have to be, I like being honest.
You're very honest. I like
you understand?
That. Yeah.
If tomorrow it happens, I won't fight her, we will not divorce, I will not kill myself, I will not submit to her.
But it's not like you're going to make things difficult for her, right?
No, that is what I say. I won't fight.
Okay.
We won't have problems as long as I'm concerned. But I will not become the wife.
No.
I will not. My position will not be swapped.
You'll still be the husband.
I will still be the husband. But the fact is that, listen, let me tell you the truth. It is very, very difficult. I have seen some of these things. I know people. It is very, very difficult to control a wealthy woman. It is also very, very difficult to control a wealthy man. It is very, very difficult to control a wealthy person. Are you getting me? So that is it. So if a woman is wealthy, the same way it's not easy to control a wealthy man, it's not also easy to control a wealthy woman. That's why lots of wealthy women, many of them have married so many husbands, and they are still single. They are not married to anybody at the moment. Not because they are bad people, but because of what they have. You know. But it's easy for a man. In a sense, I have one of my chairman. He pays his wife. So one day, I took my wife my wife was going somewhere with his wife, you know. My wife called me on phone that they're going somewhere. I say, fine. You know, I went there to pick our car that she drove to the place, since the woman's driver will be dropping her later in the evening, you know. So when she came back, you know, she was telling me stories. As soon as they were about to leave, despite the fact that the woman, the man pays her every month, you know, and then she used to be a medical doctor. Yeah, she has practiced. They are not children, you know. The woman has grandchildren already.
Okay.
So she was a medical doctor for so many years in U.S. Before they now moved down to Nigeria. The husband is a very wealthy person, you know. So she stopped practicing when she started having problems, health problems. So she was in hospital abroad for almost 2 years. So she was advised to stop practicing. So, and she can't work for somebody. Her husband is a billionaire in dollars, not in high currency, so she can't work for somebody. So that day they were going out, and the wife called the husband and said, I'm hanging out with my friends. There were about 4 of them. The husband will need something, need some money. The man came out and then gave the woman, asked her, you know, you have your money, you just want to, and then gave her 500,000 just for the outing. I think they were going to Asaba or something, you know. Now, if it's a man hanging out with his friends, it will be difficult for a woman to give that money. What comes to her mind is, this one, he's hanging out with his friends. Are you sure they are not going to chase girls? Is it not girls they are going after? But they will spend this money on girls.
But Fresh, let's always make exception. There are exceptions to the rule. You get? A large percentage of people can actually do this. That does not mean that every other person is doing that.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I think we need to actually look at the way women think. A woman can spend all her money if it's her husband, and her children. If it's her and her husband, she can take her husband to the moon. She can take her husband to Brazil, any part of the world, and spend that money. She doesn't mind. She loves her husband. But there may be 1 or 2 friends that she's looking at with corner eye, that this one must be chasing woman. And this is somebody the husband likes hanging out with. when you don't have...
Let me ask you that question. See, you know, women, our intuitions are right, though.
Not all the time.
Most of the times.
Most of the time.
Our intuitions are right. If a woman looks at a guy, that this guy is not good for my husband. The woman knows what she's seeing.
No, there are many reasons why a woman may say that. One is that there are men, just like, you know, we were talking about fashion at the time. There are, of course, most women will like my kind of person. You understand, but around their husband, you know. But there are guys that you see. If you get close to them, you know that they are not actually womanizers, but probably they are kind of person.
They behave. There are people. Honestly,
you understand?
They
behave that way. They dress. They are too careful about their shoe. They are too careful about their hair. They are they like this kind of fashion looks. And women believe, because most guys who chase women, they are like that. So when a woman sees that picture, what comes to her mind is this is one of them.
But quickly, because I think we just have 9 minutes to the end of the program. Yeah. Quickly, what can we do? Because from all indications, a lot of guys, men, married people have these ideas that if you empower a woman, if a woman gets so rich, if my woman is richer than me, that I'm in trouble. Now, can we have this conversation? What can women do?
Okay,
such that even if they have more money than their husband, what can they actually do to ensure that the man still feels like the man that he is?
What is there is, for instance, I'm going to talk about what I'm doing myself. You know, I think what husband and wife needs more is love and unity. Love and unity. When you love each other very well, it will be easier for you to understand that what belongs to your wife also belongs to you. And what belongs to you also belongs to your wife. You know, my own family, our finance, our money, they are the same. They are the same. You know, if I want to transfer all the money in my wife's account, my fingerprint can do all of that. If she wants to transfer mine, hers can do all of that. If for instance, my ATM card is at home now. If she wants to buy anything or do anything, she can simply take it and do that. I can also do that with our own money, you know. So we've not in any way, we did not create any form of disunity between our finances. There's no discrepancy there. Her money is my money is her money. So if she's getting richer, I'm getting richer.
Okay.
You understand? If I'm getting richer, she's also getting richer. We'll celebrate it. You know, joint account works, all these things, and husband and wife seeing what belongs to them as their thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way I personally see it. That's why.
And that's what I think it should be, especially for a place where, for husband and wife, because it's partnership. It's not competition.
It's not competition.
People should start seeing husband and wife as a partnership. You're not competing with each other. Rather, both of you will stand together to compete against the world.
Yeah. So let's just look at it that way and think that's all every husband and wife need. What belongs to your wife, you start it from the beginning, that this thing is your own, it's also your wife's own. Even if I become a billionaire tomorrow, I will not have a particular car that my wife cannot drive.
Okay.
I will not have a particular property that my wife won't have access to.
We don't know about.
No, I won't do that, because I so much believe that she's my wife. If I should have access to it, she too should have access to it.
True.
If she can give me access to herself, so why won't I give her access to ordinary car?
And this probably the next time we'll be on this program. Why do people get married to somebody they cannot trust? You know you cannot trust this person. This person is just like, I don't know if I've shared that story with you here about a particular man who is a multi-billionaire. He died. And he left huge amount of money that could be running into trillion of naira. To the extent that the bank manager had to trace his family. It was now a particular man that doesn't even know how this man made this money that they got to know about. Now, this man now called his family. I don't know if you understand him. This man now called his family and told his family that that they are going to give him 500 million. Imagine a situation. Imagine how much that is in question. That this man is going to get 500 million. The bank manager will get 500 million. And the family will take the rest of the money. Just to show you how much this man left in the bank, and he died. And I know that a lot of people, a lot of men leave monies in the bank.
Lots of men.
So why would you marry someone you cannot trust? Someone you cannot trust with your wealth, you cannot trust with your businesses, you cannot trust with the things you... Maybe the next time on the program we're going to look at it.
Yeah,
you know, sure. Inheritance. Why do people marry people they can't trust? Because it's insane. It makes no sense at all. It's just like what we're talking about right now. As a woman, God blesses you. You make the money. Why make your husband uncomfortable? Or as a man, you are now praying that your wife should not be richer than you. Like, so what it means that if there's a business, a huge business that is going to give so much money to your wife, that business should not come.
Well, like I said...
But what can men do? You've advised women. What can men do? Because a man who prays... I don't know if you listen, if you heard what I said right now.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is
what it actually means, Fresh, what it actually means is that, for example, if your wife handles a business, let me use, for example, laundry, okay? And maybe she wins a contract that she's going to wash clothes worth millions of naira. Because that man has prayed that prayer, my wife should never be richer than me. Do you think that contract will come to?
Yeah, now, just like I said earlier, a situation where you start believing and accepting the fact that what belongs to your wife is yours, and your wife also accepts it that way, because it's not just about you accepting it. If you think it that way and your wife doesn't think it that way, it's not yours.
It's a problem, yeah.
You know. But people who are praying that prayer you talked about, they are not actually saying that their wives should not be very rich people. They are only saying, though there are people who doesn't want their wives to be rich at all. True. You know, but people who are saying the prayer, what they are saying in essence is, God, if you're going to give her 1 million, give me 10.
Okay.
Don't give her 10 and give me 1.
Okay, you've actually translated it to what it should mean.
Yeah.
Because you know the walls have ears and life is spiritual. Because I think I prefer this one. Instead of saying, come on, you can actually say, God, if you want to give my wife 1 million, give me 10 million. I think that's a better prayer.
Yeah.
Give me 10 million so that I can still handle my position as the man of the house.
Yeah, that is it. It's not as if the woman, God can give her 100 million, but let God give the husband 500 million.
Abi?
You know, so that the head will still be the head. That is the most important thing. You know, God can give her enough money to take care of herself, take care of her needs, build houses and all of that. But if she has enough money to build 3 houses, the husband should have enough money to build 10.
See you. Fresh, no, don't worry. I'm not disputing it. No problem. I will not dispute it. I will not dispute it. But the most important thing is, it's because of his experience that teaches people. You know, when people experience certain things in their life, in their marriages, in the life of other people, they will now hold certain opinion, which to them, this opinion must be there. And I think you've summarized it. You know, God, we're actually begging you, if you're going to bless, for married people, if you're going to bless the woman with 100 million, please bless the man with 200 million.
Yeah, make it 500. Make it for 1 billion.
Okay, make it one. So far, when the man is blessed, he will still be grounded, knowing that God is the one that blessed him. and knowing that his family is number one and not become uncontrollable.
Yeah, sure.
Father, please go ahead and keep blessing the man.
Bless the man.
Bless the man and bless the woman as well.
But let the blessing have a different.
Look at you.
That's the difference.
I think we are done for today. Freshman, you've just said it all. Anyways, the most important thing is for the two people to understand that it's partnership. Marriage is partnership. It's not competition. You know, that's what I will always say. Thank you so much for joining us today. Freshman, I had so much fun with you here on Love and Marriage. And of course, we'll be here again next time on this very platform. From me, Oma, you're very sweet. I don't really on TV. Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm Freshman. We're hoping to see you again next week. And of course, don't forget that love is a beautiful thing. The more you love, the more you understand that in everything, whether you are richer, whether your wife is richer, what you just say, the conclusion is, God, let your will be done. Bye-bye.